I hope somebody grabs this one really quick and you'll see what I mean. So jump on this one right away. This is VIN 1305. This is a 2016 1J7, which is atomic silver with LA30 red interior. This is my favorite combo on a GSF, which is funny because I don't own one and I have two GSFs. Anyway, this is for sale in North Carolina with only 25,000 miles on it for $60,000. And it's been a North Carolina car its entire life. Production statistics: 328 out of the 2,348 cars were 1J7 atomic silver. 167 had LA30 red interior. That is 7.07% of all of the US 49 production. So that's like a 5 out of 10 for rarity. They're not like 1 of 1 rare, but they're not 1 of 300 or 400 rare. For 2016, 199 out of the 1,418 cars for the US 49 were atomic silver, and 100 of those had LA30 red interior. 1 of 100. And if you've seen the movie Black Panther, this is that combo that was in it, and pretty desirable color combination for a lot of people. Carfax, Epic VIN, and AutoCheck. Carfax shows this as a 2-owner, no accident car, North Carolina car. Epic VIN shows this as a 1-owner, no accident car, which is not correct. It's definitely a 2-owner. AutoCheck shows this as a 2-owner, no accident car. So I think it is safe to assume this is a 2-owner, no accident car, North Carolina its whole life, clean title, 25,000 mile car. Previous sales: March of 2016 in North Carolina for $88,000. Still for sale in June of 2016. Still for sale in October of 2016, and it finally sold mid-October 2016, so about 7 months for sale. First registered as a corporate vehicle in North Carolina. I don't believe it was Lexus owned, but just somebody's corporation owned it. So then in May of 2018, still in North Carolina, it was originally listed for $60,000 and they quickly dropped the price to $59,000. And it looks like it probably was, the final price was around $57,500 with 15,000 miles in North Carolina. And it sold in about a week or so, again, to a buyer in North Carolina. So it's stayed in North Carolina. So here it is, the end of April 2026, still in North Carolina. Still $60,000, so the same price that it was 8 freaking years ago. How's that for holding your value? $60,000, same price it was 8 years ago, with 10,000 more miles than it did last time. So now into the photos. As if the spider webs sitting underneath the car were not enough to tell you that this car wasn't driven a lot, the odometer having 25,000 miles probably should tell you that. But the other thing is, this car has 2017 date codes. It also has Michelin Pilot Super Sports instead of the Pilot Sport 4S's, so that's kind of another giveaway. I think you can still get the Pilot Super Sports, but they're slowly being phased out. Point being, this car has 9-year-old tires on it, so it definitely needs tire replacement if nothing else. I also see a lip on the front rotors, so brakes and tires. These cars always need brakes and tires. This car needs brakes and tires. I do see an aftermarket carbon fiber shift knob. You can find those on eBay for about $180 coming from China. Wrapped black door handles. I would assume they're wrapped, not painted. I don't see any carbon fiber trim delamination on anywhere inside. Really, overall, this car looks absolutely amazing, as you would expect for a car with 25,000 miles. But brakes and tires. Touch points, I don't see any significant wear anywhere. I mean, it really looks outstanding. When the leather is brand new, it sort of has a satin finish to it, and you can still see for the most part, everything looks that way in this car. So it's been very lightly used, and I mean, 2,500 miles a year on average, yeah, it's been lightly used. Definitely somebody's nice day type of car. So as far as the price goes, it's actually spot on for where it probably should be, even considering that it needs brakes and tires. If it needed nothing, I would say it's even priced slightly low for the mileage, but around $60,000 seems to be fair. Low 60s with this type of mileage is where you'd otherwise expect. So I think it's not far off, and I also don't think it'll last too long, but it is looking for a specific buyer. If you're looking for one of these that has 150,000 miles on it in the upper 30s, this is far from that. So this is definitely a clean example, clean title, no accident car. You've heard me talk about, there's around, if not just slightly less than 1,000 cars left for the US 49 market that are clean title, no accidents. And so this is one, and it's an extremely low mile example on top of that. So factor in brakes and tires. If you do the brakes yourself, $600. Tires, $1,600 to $2,000. So like $2,500, $3,000 if you do the brakes yourself. with Brembo parts. But if you do it at the dealer, expect $2,000 to $3,000. So you could be looking at like an extra $5,000 you have to spend on top of that for this car. Service history. It's not exclusively dealer serviced, but it's very well dealer serviced. There's a couple of Valvoline instant oil changes in like 2021, 22, 23, 24, something like that, but like basically like an annual oil change. You can tell that it hadn't been driven a lot, especially in the last 4 or 5 years. So the first entry of note, February of 2017, 3,700 miles, complaint about the brake noise. And they offered the quieter pads. There's a service bulletin for it, but they declined it. So the brakes that are on this car, they are original with 25,000 miles. The front brakes usually last 20 to 30,000. Here it is right in between that, 25,000. Definitely needs front pads. And the rear's probably 40 to 50,000. So you probably have a little bit of life left on the rears. September of 2019, the JLB recall. The parts were ordered, 19,000 miles, and they were installed a week later. May of 2023, 24,000 miles. The high pressure fuel pump gaskets were leaking oil. So that's probably related from the JLB recall, but remember this car's only had 5,000 miles put on it in those 4 or 5 years. But definitely something I see, I wouldn't say fairly common, but I see it on the service history is there's a funky gasket that sits on top of the valve cover gasket, and this has to sit on there spring loaded if it's depending on the position of the camshaft, and if it's not just right, it'll leak. And I think that's what went on here. So nothing to be concerned with, and it looks like it was repaired there. January of 2026, 25,200 miles, a new battery, and other than that, pretty much just oil changes. This car with 25,000 miles, you wouldn't expect to see a whole lot otherwise. So what's not done? The ZLZ, that is the sticky deformed delaminating dash. The in-service date on this car is October 12th of 2016. So you have until October 12th of 2026. So you have a few more months to get that covered. Lexus will replace it free of charge. Brakes and tires, as I said, the front lower control arm bushings. This is more of an age thing at this point. So this car's 10 years old, but check the insides of the front tires, especially because it's got 2017 tires. So look and see the condition on the insides. If you see any excessive wear, it probably needs front lower control arm bushings too. The valley plate, heat cycles and time. If this car's had a lot of short trips, there's no reason the valley plate couldn't be leaking. I haven't really seen one this early. I think the earliest one I've seen is like 35, 36,000 miles. But again, it's heat cycles and time. It's not necessarily mileage. So definitely do a pre-purchase inspection and look at the valley plate anyway, because it will leak later on. If you're gonna get in this car and start putting some serious mileage on it, then definitely expect to be doing that pretty soon. The carbon fiber trim is all original. None of it's delaminating. It's been very well taken care of, but the carbon fiber trim is all original, so expect in the future that it could delaminate. The low pressure fuel pump, I don't see where it's been reprogrammed for making the humming or buzzing in the back seat. So shut everything off other than the engine and listen very closely in the back seat. And if you hear some noise, there is a reprogramming for that. Speaking of the low pressure fuel pump, there is a recall that was just issued a couple weeks ago, and it will get a replacement low pressure fuel pump also. All you have to do is go to the dealer once the parts are available. It should be May or June of 2026 when that time comes. The KLG has not been done on this car. That is the customer service program for the GPS location reporting incorrectly. So there is a fix for that, but it's not free anymore. HVAC servo sweep, there is a fix for that. So make sure it's fully warmed up, mess around, one side max hot, one side max cold, cycle through everything, flip through it, make sure everything responds like it should. If it doesn't, there is a programming to fix it. If it still doesn't fix it, then some of the servos need to be replaced, and some of those require the dash removal. So other than that, fluids, coolant, brake fluid, transmission service, TVD service, just kind of the usual things. But none of that's kind of out of the ordinary for this car. It's just more you're getting up, this car is 10 years old. The fluids in this car are 10 years old other than the oil. So I definitely would recommend doing that. If you're gonna pick this car up, just go through and just do a full battery of services. But also at the same time, kind of inspect the rubber parts, because this car has done a lot of sitting around, maybe not a lot of heat cycles, but look at the upper and lower radiator hoses, the rubber parts, the belt, probably want to replace the drive belt, not expensive to do, and you can do it yourself. You know, the drive belt's like 40 bucks, and you can do it yourself while you're changing the oil, you know, things like that. But that's basically it. So that brings me to, would I buy this car? In a New York minute, I would buy this right away. Priced fair, I don't see any other issues other than it just needing brakes and tires and just bringing the fluids up to date, just because none of them have been done. Some of the little customer service things, if it presents that, you can do them. You can be proactive and do them. You know, once it's at the dealer, expect to spend a couple $100 for the programming stuff. But that's really it. I mean, it's a really fantastic example. I think it's priced fair. It's an awesome color combination, atomic silver on red. It has no accidents. It's only a 2-owner car. Some of these cars are getting up in their 9th, 10th, and there's one even an 11-owner car now. But that's not the average. The average is like 3 or 4 at the moment. But I think this one is not going to sit around very long. Definitely worth pursuing, but you're going to pay a premium for it because it is so nice. And with the way things have been going with the market, you know, everything's been trending up. And so I was surprised to see this car priced at $60,000. I was expecting, you know, especially at a dealer, I was expecting to see it probably in the lower 60s. But again, factor in brakes and tires, and it's not too far off. So VIN 1305. Definitely hope somebody picks this one up. It definitely looks like a great one. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon.